I'm doing a tile work for my home, and one of the spacers was not flush to the tile, like the one you see here, that the spacer is away from the edges of the tile. So if I put another tile next to it, it'll make a big gap between the tiles. Like here, I'm putting another tile next to it. For this one, you see the gap on the right is smaller than the one on the left because that spacer is not flush to the edge of the tile next to it. And I try to push it in. I can't because the cement already dried. And there's a gap there between the spacer and the edge of the other tile. Here you see the cement is dry and the spacer is stuck. I cannot even move it. So what should I do? How do I take it off? Here I'm going to show you the tool. I use a paint scraper and a small hammer. First I carefully remove some of the cement that's stuck out in between the spacer and the tile. Then I carefully put the scraper between the edge of the tile and the spacer. Remove the excessive cement. Be very careful. Do not chip or break the tile with a metal scraper. It's so easy to do that. Be careful. Then I use a mini pick or hook to remove some of the crumbs that made from breaking the cement, which make it a lot easier to see how much cement is still left there and need to be removed. Next, I need to work on the cement underneath the little spacer. I use the hammer to help me to push the scraper along the tile parallel to the tile. Avoid hammering the spacer 90 degrees to the edge of the tile because if you do that, you will crack the tile. Also, when you are doing this, don't do a big chunk. Do it a little by little. And don't put too much pressure on the cement between the tile, especially when you're doing underneath the spacer. And occasionally, make sure you remove some of the powder or crumb that you broke so you create more room and space for the scraper to go in deeper and remove more cement. And also, it will help to relieve some of the pressure you put on the tile. So you see here, I'm not in a hurry. I'm just doing little by little, piece by piece. After I got done with the bottom of the spacer, now I'm working on between the tile and on top of the spacer. Same method I applied when I do with the bottom, and just scrape it and remove the cement little by little. Pull out the scraper. I use a mini pick to remove some of the powder or some of the crumb that was removed inside between the tile and the spacer, so it will create more rooms. Well, during the process, I accidentally break the leg of the spacer. If you are careful, you may reuse the spacer, but here I broke the leg already, so this spacer is no use. I may have to replace it. So when you each time got some of the cement loosened, make sure you use a mini pick to remove some of the powder and crumb between the tile and the top of the spacer. This will give you more room for the scraper and create less pressure on the tile. You don't want to break the tile because of this little spacer. It will create a lot more work if that happens. Finally, all the legs are broken and this piece is useless. Throw it away. Now I have more room to work on between the tile and on top of the spacer. Continue to remove the cement until you feel enough room for the applier to pull out the spacer. Now I think I have removed enough cement and try to use the L-shaped applier to pull the spacer out. Voila, it came out. Awesome, man. Alright, next is to use the mini pick to remove any cement that's stuck between the tile and the floor, and there's a little gap inside because the spacer was removed. Now I can use an L-shaped mini pick, a lot easier to remove excessive cement or the powder, so let me have room for the new spacer to put in there. Now time to put in the new spacer. I'm trying to test fit if it go in or not. Look like doesn't go all the way in, so I need to do some cleaning and use the mini pick to remove some of the little crumb and cement that inside that little hole. Okay, let's test fit to see if it will go in flush with the edge or not. It doesn't look like you get flush with the edge. Now, next step is to trim some of the excess of the bottom of the spacer. I use a flush cutter. You can buy it on Amazon. I'll give you the link, and cut out some of the excess portion of the bottom part of the spacer and test fit to see if it will go in flush to the edge. If it doesn't, repeat the same process again, like I'm showing you here. I also use the mini pick. See, I can create more room inside the hole by remove a little bit more cement inside. It may help or may not, but it doesn't matter. Let's try it out, see if it works or not. If it doesn't work and still not fit perfectly, I will have to remove more parts from the clips, make it smaller. It's a try and error process, and it's going to take time, and eventually it will fit. Finally, it fit perfectly. Alright. Let's test to put a towel next to it to check the gap to see if evenly between the left and the right and in between. Look good, the gap are even on each side. Alright, this is how I fixed the problem. So don't be careless like what I did. Each time you put the spacer in before the cement dry, make sure you flush with the towel. Alright, thanks for watching. Please hit the like button. Thank you.